Now let's put some ivy on a tree. So I will add, as always, the part that I will not use for this in order to make the viewport faster. And let's generate a new, let's generate some new branches on that. So I will just generate a branch preset. I can rename that ivy trunk. And I could rename also the other ones to make it more tidy. Could be nicer. I want to generate some ivy just at the base of the trunk. So I will go in the Gen tab and I will lower these values. So maybe from 0.5 to 0, from 0 to 0.5, we can generate some branches. Let's generate some more. So I can go up and maybe make 10 branches per trunk, and I can maybe add some randomness, like let's say 3, in order to have more or less of them. The ivy does not have any relation to the main trunk in terms of size, so I won't, in the skin tab, use the percentage related to parent. I will put some absolute values, so maybe like 0.02, and I can make some variation as well, so like maybe some 0.005, or maybe a bit more. Is it too small? Yeah, maybe like that. And maybe I can increase a little bit their size. Let's make them longer. So I will increase the percentage of parent. So here I can keep the percentage of parent because actually the longer tree might have longer ivy, so I might keep the percentage of parents, but as you remember, I just have the base here and I want them to go much higher, so I will go to a bigger percentage. They are gonna be longer than their parents. So I don't know, 3 or 4 maybe, and maybe with a variation here on. We'll see. With the noise, it might not be as important. So we need to make a force that combines the base and the extension of the trunk. To do that, I can just select the trunk extension and the trunk, like by pressing Shift on the keyboard, and go to the force, add force, geometry, and from selected generator. So it's going to make a force for the selected ones. So I can call that combined trunk, and say OK. It's going to be an attract force, and I can right away use it on my trunks. So if you remember well, and I have to put these on a second pass in order to use another generator as a force. So let's go here and use the combined trunk force, put it to 1, make it as strong at the base. And you see that it's not sticking exactly on the trunk. And it's because for now, these branches, they are very long and they need more accuracy to actually stick on the trunk. So maybe I can raise it to, like, let's say 200, maybe 100. 200 is better. And now they are sticking to the tree a bit better, but they are kind of wrapped on place to themselves. So what we can do is go to the force tab and add some follow strengths. So maybe 0.2. 0.2 might be a bit too big, but let's see. We can also add some noise. So let's put the noise amount to 1, and now it starts to look not too bad. So maybe I can try to play a bit with the turbulency to see if it's looking better with more or less turbulence. It's not too bad like that. Now I would want them not to collide each other, so I will generate another force for the ivy trunk. So let's just right click on this one and make a geometry force from selected, and it's gonna be renamed ivy trunk because I renamed my node, so it's convenient. And let's make this force an avoid force. We'll try it like that, and let's use it right away on our ivy, and let's see how it looks. So now they should stop penetrating each other's. We might decrease a bit the force if we don't want them to be as affected by this force. We just want them not to, just not to intersect. So we might not want to change too much the look. And they start to get a bit offset from the trunk again. So we might need to increase a little bit more the accuracy here. Let's see if it solves our problem. And yeah, it's start to be a bit better. We kind of have some big chunks of accumulating branches here, because now that they can't penetrate themselves, once they get on one track, they continue to follow each other. So let's try to see if we can edit a little bit the force here to make it look nicer. Let's try, for example, with attract, see if it changes a little bit. No. I mean, it's really depending, I guess, on how they start, because you see some of the trunks are looking pretty good, and some of the others are making this accumulation of branches here. So I don't know, maybe just by selecting one of the branches, we might prevent that from happening. Let's go to node mode, and let's try to delete one of these branches arbitrarily, and maybe let's delete one more. So it's really something that you would do at the end, because then start to make some major manual editing. Let's delete even some more. So maybe it means that we need to actually offset their position, maybe, or orientation. Doesn't help too much. It's not looking too bad, but I don't like it too much the way they go that way. Let's try to play a bit more with our force again. Let's go to Ivy trunk, and let's see if we say that they do nothing but just obstruct. I mean, our problem is then when they obstruct, they tend to follow along together afterward. Let's see in the force if we can just, I don't know, maybe play with the turbulency a bit to see if we can get some different looks. I don't know if we can resolve this. I mean, by increasing the force, they kind of solve it. Maybe if we can increase the follow, we can compensate that. Oops, let's try to go up to 1. And it's actually killing some branches now, so I guess the forces are too big, and it can't find a path to actually continue to make them grow. So here's not too bad. If we want to visualize them a bit better, we might duplicate our shader. So let's go to here and just go to duplicate the shader and rename it Ivy Bark. And let's actually tint it a little bit green, so we can. Sorry, I don't want this one. And just like make it a slightly bit more green, and maybe a bit darker as well. Just so it's just for readability. So anyway, we won't use this shader at the end. So here's just to actually see the look of our ivy. Okay, so we are not too bad for now. We have some nice curling ivy. Maybe it's a bit too strong sometimes. Yeah, it's a. I guess it would need some more time and playing with the parameters to actually get something I'd like, but I won't keep the video too long, so I will let it like that, I guess, and maybe reduce a bit the noise, and we just continue, and we might go back on this later once we have the leaves, and if we need, we can edit some more. So now let's add some bifurcating branch to that to make some second level of generation to the ivy trunk. So let's add. So let's start from some bifurcating branches, and let's change their length. So on the spine tab, maybe they are too long for now. So let's maybe go to I don't know, 0.1% of the parent. And let's put some variation at 0.1, so they don't have all the same size. And we will add the force from the trunk to make them follow the trunk as well. So let's add the combined trunk force, put it to 1. Again, make it affected right from the beginning of their the spine. And okay, it's not looking too bad. Let's see from far. We might also add the main ivy trunk as a force to to make them collide, but actually you'll see that it's gonna increase even more the packing if we do that. So anyway, we will have the leaves on that, so we might not want to add these as a force. So we might try just to see, but I'm suspecting that it's gonna add this kind of even more packing stuff. So you see first that it won't work because I have to put them on one passes even higher than this one. So these ones are on the generating pass of 2. So these ones need to be on a generating pass of 3. So they can use this force. So you see now they start to try to collide with the main trunk, and it's removing quite a few. So it's going to be less controllable if we do it like that. So anyway, by the end it's going to be covered by the leaves. So I prefer to have a nice even repartition of the secondary branches, as the leaves are going to pop from these branches. So it's important that they don't they are not too sparse, and that we control their position pretty well. So let's go and deactivate the Ivy trunk force, and it's going to be lighter as well to edit like that. So we've covered our trunk pretty well with some branches. So now on the next video we are gonna generate the leaves for the Ivy.